All right, welcome back to the program. Maja Vodanovic is the mayor of Lachine. And Maja, welcome to our studios.
Thank you for having me, Elias.
It's great to have you back on. You know, you were on this show a little while back, I think, for our regular City Hall segment on the Fridays. And it was just a little nugget that ended up in one of our segments there. You were talking about an area of Lachine that was prime for redevelopment and that you were having public consultations on what the community wants to happen there. And lo and behold, this thing is moving. This project is moving. And it's really interesting because there is one of the goals here is to create a truly green neighborhood. Mm-hmm. So, and by the way, one of the reasons why I like having you on is because we have a lot of environmentalists that come on and people that care about the environment. But you know why I like you? I like you because you don't seem too pie in the sky out there. There's a lot of realism when we talk to you. So I wanted to have you back on and talk about this green district because I'm excited when I hear someone like you talk in the manner that you talk. Yeah. So why don't you tell me, what's the vision here? What came out of these consultations?
Well, one, I was very surprised because I know the people I'm close to in Lachine, they want a green district. Mm-hmm. But I was surprised to see that out of the 63 briefs that were brought to the OCPM, a lot more people want this green district.
So what does that mean, green district? I mean, it's not the color green. There's something going on here, right?
There's something going on because everything is to be made, right? Mm-hmm. We have no infrastructure. There's not enough sewers. There's not enough aqueducts. There's no roads there. Not enough anyways. So what are we going to do? There's not enough transportation.
So for someone who's listening to us right now and they drive around town or maybe they drive from downtown to the West Island, where's this location? Situate them.
If a lot of people know Collège Sainte-Anne,
yes.
the private school. Well, that's right east of that.
Okay.
So where the Dominion Bridge used to be, it's under Échangeur Saint-Pierre.
Yeah, and west of basically Ville Saint-Pierre.
Yes,
and
exactly.
east of Collège Sainte-Anne.
Exactly.
That's a lot of area. That's a lot of big space.
It's huge. So it's just below Victoria and above the canal.
Okay.
So north part of the canal.
So what is this? This used to be an industrial site.
Yes, 30,000 people used to work there up until the 80s.
Wow.
And now there's only 1,500 people that still work.
Okay. So what's the vision here? How do you transform a place that was industrial into a green neighborhood?
It was one of the most contaminated areas in Canada with the Jenkins valve. Yeah. And so now it's like a burnt land. It's very symbolic. And it's where it's the place from which modern Canada was built. Mm-hmm. It was the iron industry, the skyscrapers, the railway from the east to the west of Canada. It's incredibly symbolic land, and it's where the Mohawks worked with us. For over 100 years. They worked at the Dominion Bridge.
So doesn't that make things more complicated now? Because you want a green vision, you want to honor the past, you want to keep the heritage. Like, how do you?
It's all part of it.
Okay.
It's all part of it because you have to learn from the past. Yeah. You have to be inspired from the past, and there, the 20th century city was born there. So we're saying now that we have to this land will be reborn. Mm-hmm. Well, let's make it an example for the 21st century.
Sounds fantastic. Yes. Developers want to make money. How do you get them on board?
Yeah, well, they're already on board.
Tell me.
They already said Villanova, the promoters, the Développement Lachineste, they wrote an article in the Journal de Montréal that they're ready to co-work with us.
Okay.
So we're going to be co-designing with the citizens because they see this is an opportunity. Because if we do this right, we can go get grants from the federal government, from the provincial government. Let's do something that is innovative.
Yeah.
So we can,
So there's an opportunity here because, you don't have maybe you've got some sort of heritage that you've got to look towards.
Yes.
But it's not like you've got this massive infrastructure that was in place that you have to deal with and you sort of have to like legacy build on top of it, which sometimes it's hard to make something green. You can really imagine from the ground up what you want it to look like.
Yes. And what's really nice is that the people, like there's an energy on the street, of everybody that wants to, let's do something. Let's do something for the environment. And one thing I've learned, you have to do something concrete.
Yeah.
So there's nothing more concrete than soil, contaminated soil, sewers, water.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? How are we going to make it work? And let's do good roads, but also and the main thing of an eco-quartier, of a green infrastructure is public transportation. We have to do public transportation, but very effective one.
I lived in Lachine.
Yeah.
Okay, 10 years I lived in Lachine. Terrible public transit.
Yes.
Terrible, like Charles Barkley, basketball player.
Yes.
Terrible, okay? So how do you fix it? How are you going to fix that? It's still going to be the same buses, or do you have another vision?
No, we have another vision, and it's the same vision that is shared by Projet Montréal, because one of the reasons I joined Projet Montréal is because they believed that their pink line had to extend all the way to Lachine.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the pink line that goes to Lachine, from the city to Lachine, is the same thing that Monsieur Legault, he agrees with that, because he said, I can't say he agrees.
Well, he doesn't agree with the pink line.
He doesn't agree with the pink line, but he did say during the campaign that everything that is above ground, everything that is like a tramway or a light rail, that does not need expropriation, that does not need great cost, he's not against that.
Okay.
So our part is above ground. It's almost no expropriation needed. And I mean, it would not be very expensive.
So what you're saying is, as you build this green neighborhood,
Yes.
at the same time, you're also putting in a new type of transportation to get to that area.
We have to.
Gotcha.
We have to, because you can build the greenest LEED buildings but if you don't have your public transportation, you cannot have the density.
This is like when you told us what the location we're looking at. It's immense, a large area. How many? Like at the end of the day, how many thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands? How many people are going to live in this area?
Well, a part of it is just 10,000 people expected.
Okay, 10,000.
10,000, but more than that if you look at the whole area.
Gotcha. Now, how do you balance what developers need so they can make money? You want it to be green. You also want it to be affordable for families to live on the island of Montreal.
Exactly.
How are you keeping everyone happy here?
Well, that's why we're going to be working together. We're going to have Atelier Lachine. We're putting that together now. And it's going to be a round table. We're going to meet every week or every 2 weeks, and we're going to propose stuff. Yeah. And the promoters are going to go, that's impossible. Maybe that's possible. Yeah. But you see, there's something that's a win-win for everybody, is if we do geothermal heating, super cheap to get energy from the earth, it can cost you $300 a year to heat your apartment.
And when you're doing something, you're building it from the ground up. Exactly. That's the time to do geothermal, right?
So we do geothermal, we invest. We could invest, for example, as a city or a private company could invest, and then we sell this energy, just like hydro sells our electricity.
Yes.
Well, the city could actually make millions of dollars doing this.
Well, it's an interesting project that's underway out there in the borough of Lachine, and the borough of Lachine trying to build Montreal's first truly green district. We're continuing our conversation with Maja Vodanovic, the mayor of Lachine. Okay, I guess my question here is, it leads back to the other thing about getting families, right, into that area. So, in your mind, what does the housing look like? Is it condos? And like, how do you convince families that they want to have condo living? Is it townhouses? Like, how do you what's the balance there that you're looking at, and what you heard from citizens when it comes to having enough density and making promoters happy because they got to make money, so they want to build dense, right? So how are you going to balance that, and what kind of homes are you looking at?
Well, this is exactly This is exactly the kind of thing we will be looking at in detail together, because some people came and said, look, I don't want something ugly. I want something beautiful. And I don't want just huge condos. But there are ways, different cities have thought about this. Vancouver, Toronto, they've come to, along the street, there's little homes. And behind those homes, there's like 3 floors. And then behind that, there's taller buildings. And then you can have one very high building surrounded by woods, and then next to it is smaller homes. There's ways to mix and match and get the density we need without making it all 6 plexes.
I guess this brings me to a question I got on the text line here. What about actual green spaces, trees, living besides animals? Is that part of nature, I guess?
Yes.
How much nature can you put?
Exactly. Yeah. It's a huge problem, because we're going to have to put a percentage of nature that we want. We have to regulate it. And we have to also buy land. Like Parks Canada wants, of course, they're going to be green along the canal. Yeah. But maybe we could buy more land and have a larger spot along the canal to have the green space. And what's really nice is that Turcotte Yards, it's going to be a park. Once it's done, it's a park with a little lake.
Okay.
So all of that is very close to us. So we could connect that area to our area. And so you could have this connected green space for animals. But
I got a question from Ray in NDG, and he says, this project already with Villanova, right? That's the promoter?
Yes,
right?
yes.
Well advanced and under construction. Is it under construction? Parts of it under construction?
There's a part of it that's under construction, but that is not part of our green. Yeah.
Okay, good. It's not part of your green. That's good. Okay, because he says this is Ray who says, not very green at this point.
Yes.
How will the area cope with the high population density expected without proper transportation systems in place? This is a good question.
Yes, because it cannot cope. The density that we have now is not possible without public transportation. That's why the promoters have to be on board with us, because we need to get it. Otherwise, they can't build as dense as they need to build. And yes, the project that is being built on Jenkins was built under, it was approved under the last council.
Gotcha.
And the permits are being given out now because it's legally we're bound to it. Yeah. But it has very green infrastructure because it collects all the rainwater, but it does not have much green space, and it is not oriented towards the sun, and there's no there's many things. Yeah. It's not. I won't bash it. Oh. I'm glad that they came.
But these are your partners, event,
They're
right?
My partners.
For the rest of this,
yes,
right?
So, and they came and they decontaminated land and they did what they had to do. It's a lot more. It's harder to do this in dirt. In somewhere where it's not nice, it's a lot easier to go and cut trees and make nice homes like they want to do in Pierrefonds and they wanted to do in Sainte-Anne-de-Bellevue, where they're all along the REM lines. It's where they want to develop easy development to cut green space. Yeah. It's cheap, but to decontaminate ain't easy. So whoever comes, I love them.
Okay, so we love them, but how can we make sure there's affordable housing with all of that? That's a lot of tasks, right? Cleaning that land and that kind of stuff. Yeah. And what does a developer think when they see a nice large green space? They're like, oh, there's some wasted money. You know what I mean? So how do you gonna?
Well, that's what we're going to be looking at for about a year, at least 8 months. We have to have a plan by December. Yeah. And there's actually university specialists who are going to be researchers that are going to be looking at us like guinea pigs to see if we make it or not.
When will people be living in this area?
Well, in the Jenkins, there's already people living there, but not in. It will take at least 6 years.
Wow, okay.
So we have time to plan because we need to put the infrastructure in place. And we need to decontaminate, takes time. Yeah. Infrastructure takes time. But we have to plan now so that we can align everything to make it happen. So we have time to put in our...
Shout out to the people that bring this up on the text line. What about parking?
Underground.
Underground. Yeah.
So far, Villanova has done everything underground, and it's a huge cost because we have rock. Rock is very close to the surface in this area, so they have to. It's a huge cost, but I'm very happy that they did it, and we did not have less park. Downtown we have less parking. We kept it because we still have no public transportation.
6 years away, obviously there's time for citizens to continue to sort of send their ideas, right? How do they do it?
Well, we're going to be creating Atelier Lachine, but there is also Imagine Lachine, who's a citizen-based organization that they can join and participate, and they have very weekly to bi-weekly meetings.
You're fun to talk to. Maja Vodanovic, Mayor Lachine. Come on back real soon with updates. It's a big project. It's nice to dream as well.
Yes.